We're back again. Prem Heads it is. The original team back in the building. It's been a while. The Premier League up and running. It's kicking off. How are we both feeling today? Ready to go, Double A? Nice to see you in the building.
Yeah, ready to go, ready to go.
G, keeping it G. I feel like I see you way too often these
I'm seeing you
days.
too much, man. It's annoying me now. It's annoying me. It's annoying me.
Way
How are
too
you?
I'm very good. I'm very good. For those of you that aren't aware, we've got a fantasy Premier League running, so we're going to run through that as well today. If anybody wants to join, here it is. There's the code. Join the Clock Zone Super League. It's not too late. It's code YCE OLC. You're guaranteed to be beating G, so get in there. Don't worry.
Guys, don't listen to
So,
him. Don't listen to him.
this week, it's not been a great start for Liverpool in the Premier League, but it's been a good start to the league season if you're a football fan. There's been some exciting games. Double A, what game do you want to pull out this week as your game of the week?
I would pull out the Man United Brentford game normally, but I'm gonna pull out the Chelsea Spurs game just because of the little war of the managers. Because that
It
did
was
really
mad.
entertain me, I have to say.
Do you think Chelsea have surprised me a little bit how kind of they've hit the ground running with this new owner, with a new kind of look squad, people in like uncertain positions. Loftus-Cheek, by the way, coming into that team, he's performing at a good level at the minute for me. I'm liking what Loftus-Cheek is bringing. What did you think of the game, Double A? Did you think Spurs were lucky to get out of it with a point?
Spurs were lucky to get out of a point, if we're honest. But Chelsea, from a few Chelsea fans I know, they seem to be a bit aggrieved about like the head pulling incident, which I do agree it was a foul, and they should have been penalised for it. And if Spurs are penalised for it, they obviously don't get another corner and score. But however, there's so much of the game still to play, and how in the last minute you let Harry Kane get a free header is nonsense to me. So I kind of feel like because of the way you defended that, you kind of deserve that, if that makes sense. And then even their first goal, Spurs' first goal, someone was injured in like the build-up. But again, it was almost like 3 or 4 minutes before Spurs scored. So how can you pull it back all that time? And for us, when we played Fulham the other day and Henderson got fouled in the build-up to like their first goal, and there was maybe like 30 seconds in it, they said it was too far to pull it back anyway, even if it was a foul, because it's a different phase of play. So how Chelsea fans and Tuchel's talking about 4 minutes after? Like it was like so much happened. They actually won the ball back. I think Jorginho won the ball back, lost it,
Yeah.
and then they ended up conceding. So again, you've had the ball. You could have changed the outcome of it if you guys defended better. So
Do you
I
think
do know
this
what
is why, Double A, that they kicked off
yeah.
at the end? Do you think because it was so heated, the hair had been pulled? It wasn't down to looking someone in the eye. Surely they didn't get down to this because he didn't look him in the eye. It's got to be the game, innit? Like, it was a heated game towards the end. This
Yeah,
must have
obviously,
just
yeah.
boiled over.
Yeah, I think it's obviously boiled over because of that certain incidents in the game, and like you know how Conte cheers, he's passionate or whatever. I think when they scored their first goal, I think that kind of wound up Tuchel because Tuchel's
Yeah.
not like he's not someone to really celebrate so much. So when Chelsea scored the second, when Richarlison scored, he started celebrating, running up and down the touchline as well. So then obviously Conte's done it again and it's 2-2. And I think he's just pissed from that. So then that's why he's held him because like Conte shook his hand and then look at him and he's just held his hand and grabbed him back. And said, and you can see he's saying something about look in my eye or something like that. And then Conte's just gone.
It's just a madness. Like, that was the highlight of the game by far, G. Like, the fight at the end. Managers these days, you had last season, Simeone wouldn't even shake someone's hand. You've got this season, the shaking hands but not looking in the eyes. Like, what is it with these managers these days? Have we got like the most exciting managers in our league though at the minute, do you think?
These managers, they're acting like babies. If I'm being honest with you, it wasn't even that deep. Like for it to turn into what it turned into in the end, I was like, really over this? Like, come on, man, you lot grow up. Let's just move on. You're both more frustrated at the sheer fact that you drew the game. Chelsea probably more so because I think Chelsea were probably the better team overall. So really and truly, I would have seen it more as what's his name? Tuchel was just a bit more frustrated than anything. And the way you could tell was afterwards, Conte was just joking. He put it on his Instagram. Like he was busting up about it, kind of like that's when I knew.
Conte was trolling. That's what
No,
Conte
he was
was doing.
trolling.
He was trolling.
I like that. Mourinho's done it before. Like I like
Yeah.
that kind of stuff because it just brings a bit of fun to it. Do you get what I mean? It's not that serious, man. Tuchel was taking it way too seriously. Now you're banned for 3 games. Too bad.
Obviously, we want to touch on the too bad. Obviously, we want to touch on the Brentford and United game. We're going to end up doing that anyway because that kind of takes the heat off Liverpool a little bit. But one game that stood out for me, Double A, was Nottingham Forest and West Ham. Nottingham Forest, we were saying they might have made too many signings. They're not going to click. They look like a club.
Whoa,
All right,
let's not say we.
okay.
Let's
All
not
right,
say
I
we.
apologize. G,
I said it and I
I
said it
think.
with chest and I'll say it again. They're getting relegated. Let's go.
Okay, let me just find
Is
that back.
it?
Not we. I said that Nottingham Forest might struggle because too many players. We've seen it before. Not Norwich have done it, but they look like a team. Double A, like Brentford did. They kind of have the right balance, the right ethos. They've got the fans, the manager. Everything seems in line for them. Can you see a good season for Forest this season? Beating West Ham, what a spell!
Do you know what though? Like, because I took Forest to stay up out of us three, and to be honest, that match didn't convince me. If I'm really going to be honest, because West Ham were all over them. They hit posts, they hit all types of woodwork. They had a goal disallowed. They had so many chances they didn't take and probably shouldn't have, and probably should have taken. So, but I do think that when Forest play at home, with the stadium they have, the crowd behind them and stuff, that's going to galvanise them. So they will get victories like the one they got, basically. And if Henderson plays how he played as well, because he played out of his skin as well.
Henderson was class.
So if they have games like that, they can stay up.
Dean
look
Henderson,
at Henderson.
Guys, not Jordan.
Yeah,
Henderson.
not Jordan. We look at Henderson, G. United scraping round for Begovic, you know. Like, what are they doing? Like, letting Henderson go, bringing in Everton's second choice goalkeeper as their backup. Everything at United at the minute, it's glorious. It's glorious, isn't it, G? It's glorious.
The thing is, it's glorious, but it's sad as well. Like, I'm actually feeling sad for them at this current moment in time because it's gone beyond it being funny. Like, I'm just looking at a football club that I don't even know what to call them anymore. Do you get what I'm saying? It's just weird over there. It's so weird. So weird. So weird.
G calls them weird. I just call it funny. It's glorious. But we want to look at how we've done this week in the Fantasy Premier League. So,
let's see.
G, honestly, you don't want to look. You don't want to look. We need to update. Also, we're going to be updating our Fantasy League team. We've got a Klopp Zone team as well. So we're going to update that as well. But let's have a look and jump in. Let me just add this here to the stream so we can have a look how we got on this week. Now, Cammy's in the comments from Scousers Rising saying he's going to win the league. I know he's high up in the league. He thinks he's going to win. We've got a lot of people, by the way, in this league now. So let me have a look at this. We've got SEAL Team 11, Victor Unjafor, you're top of the league. Second is Christy Waller. Bobby Dazzler, you're third. Two Pacalypse, no Red UX, you're fourth. Hotel Tiago, you're fifth. Millie Colbron, you're fifth. So that's the top 5. There's not been big movements. We've just seen Clyde dropping out of the top 5 going into 6. But what we really want to know is where are we? I'm dreading to try and scan through this. Let's have a look, see if we can find where we are. Let's look at our team, actually. There we go. 288th in the league. Great work.
Out of how many things are there?
There's nearly 700 teams in it now. So it's not too bad.
Okay.
It's not too bad. So we're doing all right. Let's have a look who is
you
top.
People in the comments saying I'm coming last. Carry on. I see you.
Let's go back, though, because what we want to know is how the podcasters are doing. So how are we doing in our leagues? We've got a separate championship, people. We've got a Klopp Zone championship. Now, this week, if we split up, we played against Roms. We won 52 points to 50. So we got that 3 points. So well done, G and Double A. We're taking this team. We're doing well with this team, you know. I think we might be like high up in the standings. So this team's going well. Not so much for G because it was a head-to-head between Double A
I
and
didn't even
G
know.
this
Okay,
week.
fair enough.
62 points for Double A. Is that the top score of the week?
No, Jackson,
I got
69.
on my thing. I got
G,
75.
don't start. No, come on, don't start doing this now. So
Don't make me show you.
G, it's in purple and white right there. 51 points for
Take it,
Carry on what
LG.
you're doing.
Take
Carry
it,
on what you're
LG.
And look at me
Carry
though,
on.
35. That's the worst week. I had the worst week out of everybody. All the podcaster absolutely Brentforded my ass. So, bro, that's a bad week. But the standings are what matter. Look at him pulling it up now. There's 75.
It says 75, so I don't know what this fake table he's got.
Whoa! No, we can't be.
Continue.
G, you can't be dropping words like that. I need to hit this. Can't be dropping words like fake.
Listen, I'm not getting cheated. No way. I'm not getting cheated and coming last. F that.
So let us look at the league table before we carry on. Let's just take a look at the league table. Top of the Klops, Jack Shepherd, Anfield Analytics, top of the league with 6 points. Then we've got All the Podcaster. Then our team, Team Klopp Zone, doing well. But look at the bottom down here. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. Jeez,
Damn.
You know what, people? The funniest thing is G is actually fuming right now. G, 9th.
How did the points work? Now I'm really bad.
James, it's head-to-head.
It's head-to-head.
Oh.
It's head-to-head points. So,
okay.
Yeah, I
So
apologize for that,
you could
G.
be unlucky in a sense where like you might get 100 points one week and then you play against
But
someone
someone
and they get
okay,
102.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, I get it. Okay, I'll hold my hand up then. That's cool.
So it's about picking your opponent. So we'll keep track of that. Well done to the leaders of the Klopp Zone League. But it is all about our teams. But before we go in and before we pick our team, what I want to do is I want to go through our tip, top, and our flops. So let's get in there with our tip, top, flops for this week. I feel like we need like a sound effect for tip, top, flops. We need like a jingle. Do you know what I mean? Like what do you think? Like a rock and roll. What about this?
He had it ready and gone.
Top flop time, guys. Here we go with the 3 with the most. So let's have a look. I'm 20th this Cammy. That's amazing. Cammy's saying he's 20th in the Klopp Zone League.
Stop lying. I don't want to hear it.
So Cammy representing Team Klopp Zone as the academy. So big up yourself. Let's do our tip top flops then. So let's start with Double A's tip top flops for this week. That's for the fantasy and for the Premier League, I suppose. So Double A, you've gone with Diaz. Sorry, G, for blocking you off, but it is what it is. Diaz,
seriously disrespected today.
Rodrigo, and Coutinho is your flop. So Diaz tip, top is Rodrigo, and Coutinho is your flop. Talk about that, Double A.
All right, tip Diaz. He's got himself off the mark, and obviously with what happened with Nunes the other day, we're going to need to rely on him a bit more in the next couple of games. So he's my tip to get some extra points there, and he's at a good price for how good of a player he is.
Yeah.
Rodrigo's top for me in the sense that because he's been really important for Leeds, and he's one of the top point takers so far in the Fantasy Premier League, especially for midfielders. I think he's the top midfielder, actually.
I think he is because has he got 3 goals?
I don't know how many goals he's got, but I just see he's top. When I was looking at the teams earlier, I was trying to change my team, and then I've got Coutinho as a flop because for me, Aston Villa played Everton and played Bournemouth, and Coutinho, for what I thought Coutinho was, I thought he would be running these games. It's not even that like he hasn't got an assist, he hasn't scored. He hasn't played well. He's played complete trash. And I was looking at thinking, what's happened to you, Coutinho? You used to destroy these teams like by yourself, single-handedly, just running around.
We saw it though, didn't we, Double A? We saw it when he came back, and now all of a sudden again he's just kind of gone ghost again. If you're Gerrard, do you play Buendia over Coutinho right now?
Right now, yeah.
Yeah. Listen,
Like,
Gerrard is in the mud as it is. He needs to just play whoever can
yeah,
win. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Gerrard's in trouble. We said this. Gerrard's going to be in a bit of sticky waters. This,
no,
but
but you know what?
Rodrigo,
I think the last game helped him out though. To be honest, because
yeah,
they
it
played
did.
Everton at a good
Yeah,
time, and
Lampard.
if they
Yeah.
can keep that momentum up, then they could be all right.
You're right as well with Rodrigo top of the fantasy scoring charts for Leeds. So, do you think that's down to Rafinha's gone? Rodrigo's now that guy for Leeds. He's the main guy, so he's going to try and do what Rafinha. I don't even think Rafinha did it, to be honest. I don't even rate Rafinha like that, but
no.
Rodrigo looks like a different player, doesn't he, this season?
He looks like a different player. He's not the main man. Bamford is their main guy. He's just hit the form early at the beginning of the season. So I think, you always see at the beginning of the season, there's always a player who just comes out, does amazing the first 5 games. You wait till game 6, we'll probably never hear about Rodrigo again. I think Bamford will be the guy who really helps them out this season, to be honest with you. I think that's the one I'm looking at.
You've just destroyed Rodrigo's hopes and dreams. If he's listening to this now, he's just like, do you know what? Bungie. So, G, let's have a look. Let's have a look at your tip top flop for this week. Some good choices as well. Kulazevsky is your tip. Jesus is your top. And flop, Anthony Gordon. G, before you even explain this, right? What is all this hype about Gordon? Like Gordon to Chelsea, like what's all this business about? What's he done to even
I
warrant
promise you,
a 20 million price tag?
Facts. Like, I don't know I don't know what anyone has seen, because I think he is actually crap. I think he's really Everton level. I don't think he's good at all. Like, I really don't. I'm struggling to see why Chelsea, of all the teams, like, if you had said Southampton or something like that, I'd say, okay, fair enough. Chelsea, a team that's trying to push the upper echelons in the Premier League, and you're going for Anthony Gordon, he's not good, bro. I promise you that now. Don't get him. You'll be better off getting someone else. And I think the reason why I put him down as flop is because I think with everything that's going on, potential move, Everton are kind of still in this funny place at the moment. I think he's not going to play well, and you're going to see why you shouldn't buy him.
100%. G, we've got someone in the comments say it's called Elliot saying, shout out G, man. The work ethic is crazy.
Hold tight,
G's
Elliot.
on so many streams. But what about like me and Double A? We might be doing stuff behind the scenes. Do you know what I mean?
Shout out, Elliot. Big up yourself. Thank you. Let's move on.
Just blocking Elliot.
Terrible.
Just gonna block Elliot. There we go. Block Elliot. No, I'm only joking, Elliot. You're welcome anytime. Let me show you my picks for my tip top flop this week. I'm surprised none of you went with this one for a flop. I'm surprised. But my tip is Pascal Gross. Jesus is the top. Flop, Darwin Núñez. Because I'm sorry, bro, you can't be going around headbutting people and getting my team minus points and not be flop for the week. I don't care what you say. You missed 3 chances, so you should have had a hat trick. You should have been captain this week, not banned for 3 weeks. So that's all I'm saying on Núñez. I'm not even talking about him anymore. But I want to talk about Jesus because harsh. we all said Double A. Jesus was going to be the guy this season. We said we saw glimpses at Man City. Now he's the main guy for Arsenal. He looks so dangerous as an out-and-out number 9. He looks different, doesn't he?
I don't think so, to be honest, because I always think he looked dangerous at City, to be honest. You just got to think, like, how many times have we actually seen Jesus play as a number 9 for City? Because Guardiola always does madness with him. Mm-hmm. Like, so he's playing on the right, he's playing on the left. He's playing other people like Foden and De Bruyne as false 9s when you got Jesus in the team playing alongside them and stuff. So. And Jesus, he's got a good goal record, to be honest. So I'm not. The only thing I'm surprised at, I'd say, with Jesus is that like his overall team play has impressed me at Arsenal. It's like I'm seeing him do little flicks and stuff and building up the play. What I haven't really seen him doing at City. And I'm like, wait a minute, you got those things in your locker, okay? Mm-hmm. But aside from that, his actual goal scoring and stuff, I didn't have any doubts with it because, as I say, he's prolific enough, and I just don't feel like he got a fair run out, to be honest, as a number 9 at City.
Listen, Double A, your biggest fan, Bogdan, is saying Jesus will go down in form very soon. Out of everyone so far, Double A, G's going to love this, closet Arsenal fan. But Arsenal, right now,
Can't be bothered.
they're looking like the team to clinch that top 4 spot out of everybody who's in that battle so far. Would you agree with that?
No, I wouldn't, to be honest.
Oh, are you going with that?
The reason I'm going to say this to you is because Arsenal, all right, Arsenal played Palace, all right, they beat Palace, we didn't beat Palace, but Palace haven't really played that well, for being honest. Even against us, like Palace didn't really play that well, to be honest. It's just we didn't take, even when we went to 10 men, to be honest.
Yeah.
I know Zaha had that chance at the end, but then when I watched that, because I didn't watch it live, when I watched that game back, I'm like, even with 10 men, we were putting it on them. So it was weird. But anyway, yeah, so they beat Palace and they beat Leicester. And Leicester have been awful as well. And now they got Bournemouth this week, and they should smash Bournemouth too. So Arsenal are not doing anything I don't expect them to do. But when it's that critical point and things aren't quite going as smoothly for Arsenal, we're going to see if they stand up and be counted. And right now, I'm not sure if they will or they're not. So for me, this is just Arsenal being Arsenal. There's nothing different I've seen so far. They've just got a good striker now.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, because you're looking at Leicester 4-2. Leicester are a team on the decline big time as well. G, do you disagree a little bit with Double A? We know that you have a secret kind of affinity for Arsenal. I like these kind of debates. So, top 4, has it changed in your mind, G? And you know what? I think G's like putting Liverpool in that 4th position at the minute as well.
Yeah. Like when
I'm
we
not
were
going to lie.
Yeah. Like right now, Liverpool are not Liverpool at the moment are 3rd at best. But I'll probably say
3rd.
I've still got Arsenal in there. But from watching Chelsea for me, if they can get a striker in, I do think it will start to be a bit more curtains for everyone else, because they've got a good team, man. And even with, I know we spoke about Sterling before. You know, he's played well these last 2 games. I mean, I can't say anything.
Is Koundé on his way in as well?
No, Koundé's at Barca.
He's at Barca.
Has he gone to Barca?
But they can't register him, so let's see what happens. But he's at Barca.
He's at Barca.
But one thing I was going to say with Chelsea though, all right, because Chelsea did play well against Spurs. But if you look at Chelsea, really, who scored for them in their games? Like Chelsea have no cutting edge at all.
They've no.
Yeah,
so if they don't get a striker, I think Chelsea are really going to suffer. I think they're going to struggle.
That's why I say unless they get a striker. Yeah.
Because like who scored for them? Koulibaly scored. He scored the volley. Reece James scored, and Jorginho scored a penalty. When you look at the way they take chances, like all right, Sterling's played well since he's been there, but he doesn't look like he's going to score.
Sterling's linking up so well as well. Sterling's being the guy that's creating chances, but he's not a goal scorer. That we know that from. Yes, he got goals for Man City, but anyone can score goals for Man City. Do you know what I mean? He's not that guy. Who would you bring in then, quickly, before we move on? Who would you bring in, Double A? If you're Chelsea, who's that number 9 that you would be looking at thinking, do you know what? You could do a job.
What, that who's available?
Yeah. They're talking about Aubameyang, innit? Do you think that's a good move for Chelsea?
I'll bring him in. Because he will get them goals, and Tuchel knows he's had his best time under Tuchel in his career. And I think Tuchel will be able to get that out of him, in the sense that Aubameyang, the way Chelsea play, and they're pretty quick, like the way they move through like the channels and stuff. Yeah. He will kind of suit. He won't do that much, but he will put the ball in the net. Well, I think if they were to go for someone like Ronaldo, I feel the way Ronaldo wants the ball and the way he does things it won't help their team play. Because I think Ronaldo will slow it down a bit. But I think Aubameyang's got a bit more pace to him at the moment. But if I was them, I would have really pushed for Lewandowski. I would have really pushed for him.
Yeah,
and I think he would have done so well at Chelsea, I think, personally.
Yeah. G, who would you bring in? Are you thinking a bit different? Are you looking at United were linked with Vardy? Could Vardy come in and do a job for Chelsea, maybe? I don't know.
I'll be honest. It might just sound like I'm playing against the grain, but I disagree. Like with Double A, like I would have gone for Ronaldo. I feel like he's literally the perfect player for a team like Chelsea. He's someone who he doesn't really command the ball. He just wants the ball in the area to score. They've got all the players in the team to give him the ball, with Reece James at the back there to give him the ball. I feel like they need someone just to be on the end of their goals. But that was their problem for the last 2 seasons. Was obviously Lukaku. The season prior to that, it was like no one can just score. You do all the good stuff, get in there, but then no one's scoring. Ronaldo is the best finisher in this league, so I feel like you could get him in. Why not? Like,
You say he's the best finisher in the league?
yeah, who else is a better finisher than Ronaldo?
Salah.
Nah,
Boy, fam.
Ronaldo. Guys, I know we are.
Ronaldo's
To be
the
honest,
best.
I hear what G's saying.
Ronaldo.
I think no, but I think you're talking about you're thinking about Ronaldo of the past. I'm talking about present.
How many goals did
Ronaldo
Ronaldo
now.
get last season?
Ronaldo's not getting the chances, no. That's the problem. He's not
How many
getting the
goals did
chances.
Ronaldo get last season in a dead Manchester United at the age of 37?
Was it 17?
Come on, man. You can't disrespect
Ronaldo's all right. No. Do you know what? If we're gonna do that, Ronaldo's stat padding. Because if you look at towards the end, let me explain something.
Yeah.
If you look at from like about March or something, Ronaldo had like about 9 or 10 goals. It's only at the end when Man United were playing proper trash teams, Ronaldo's goals went up.
And what happened to Salah?
Salah was so far ahead of him, even though I don't think Salah played well at all. He still finished up top scorer. But what does that mean?
No, as in
I'm not
saying the end of Salah's thing was rubbish, but Ronaldo's was more or less the same. So it's like, who are you going to pick?
And then Harry Kane was still kind of up there. Did Harry Kane score as much goals as Ronaldo? Harry Kane had a trash season as well. So
Harry Kane is a very good striker. He's a very, very good striker.
I would say Harry Kane's more clinical right now than Ronaldo. I would say.
That's the one argument maybe I can agree with. Harry Kane, on his day, is probably one of the best finishers.
I'll say Haaland as well.
I think you guys are forgetting who Ronaldo is and what he can do, you know? Like,
I agree with you, G.
Ronaldo, who Ronaldo was.
No.
I still think Ronaldo.
Ronaldo.
Honestly, I'm telling you, Ronaldo. If Ronaldo went to Man City, they don't sign Haaland this season. If Ronaldo went to Man City, they don't sign Haaland because he's getting goals this season for Man City.
No, he will probably score a record amount of goals in this season.
No.
He's a born finish. We can't, guys.
Ronaldo's past it, man. Ronaldo's past it, man.
No. I agree. I definitely agree.
You both think he's past. Ronaldo is past it.
Yeah, I agree. Ronaldo from a few years ago.
Yeah, but what has Ronaldo done for years? For years, all Ronaldo has done is score goals.
Yeah, but now
that's it, and he can still score goals.
Yeah, he can still score goals, but not at the level he was scoring it before. Not at the clinicalness now.
I mean, who's going to score the goals?
Right team.
Yeah, I mean, like, you're asking him to score 40 goals a season for the next at the age of 38? Come on, bro. That's not realistic.
As a sub as well. As a sub for Man United.
All right, cool. Ronaldo couldn't score against Brentford and Brighton, yeah?
He was a sub though, isn't it?
Was he a sub against Brentford?
No, it wasn't.
No. Man's picking up one game against Brentford that the whole team played rubbish. One of the best players to even touch a football pitch. That don't even make sense.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. One of the best players to ever touch forget all that. I'm saying Ronaldo now. Ronaldo now is not Ronaldo of years gone by. That's what I'm saying. So to say Ronaldo's the most clinical striker in the Premier, nah, he ain't. That's what I'm saying.
He scored 18 Premier League goals last season. That's mad. That's so mad. That's mad.
We've got a good host of strikers. Premier League's the best league to be in at the minute. That's all I'll say. The best league to be in. Especially the way things have started as well this season. It's going to be an interesting season.
With the amount of shots Ronaldo takes, if you take his shots to goals ratio, I don't think you'll really be that impressed, to be honest.
That's a bit like Salah, though.
Yeah, but that's why I wouldn't say Salah, because Salah's the most clinical. Salah gets a lot of goals, but if he was more clinical with his goals to shots ratio, he would clean up.
I agree.
He would clean up.
Definitely.
Big up anyway to Realism Jared, because he's saying like Ronaldo would still get 25 plus in the City team in the Premier League alone. He's also saying this: why is Klopp giving Gabby Agbonlahor the time of day? No, I've not seen this. I don't know what has been going on.
You haven't seen the
no, I've not seen this. I've
No,
not
right.
seen this. Is Klopp becoming old and touchy? Maybe. Gee, for anyone that's not seen it, because I've not seen it, is it today that this has happened? Because I've been on shows this morning, so I've not seen anything. So
I
what's
don't-
happening? What's going on? Fill the people in.
I don't know if the press conference was this morning. I don't know if it was this morning or
Yeah, it was this morning, the press
Cool.
conference.
So in the press conference, he just spoke about because Gabby Abonglo, obviously on Talksport, he spoke about Manchester United's defeat. Obviously, he used some harsh words to describe that defeat. So obviously, Klopp was just basically saying, look, like he doesn't like the fact that Gabby Abonglo spoke about United in such a way, and he says he was talking about the day that Gabby Abonglo played against us and we beat them like 6-0. And he was like, I don't remember Bonglo being a mentality monster when they played against us. So how can he turn around and start talking about, Manchester United and all this kind of stuff? I hear what Realism Jared is saying. It was funny. I think it was kind of funny, but I agree. Klopp, just shut up and just please just manage.
Do you know what? It's one of those, isn't it? Like if we're winning and everything's all roses, throw some shade at Gabby. But right now, Klopp, just keep things to yourself for a little bit. Because, like you said, there's witches or there's something going on at Anfield. I think the witches look a little bit like John Henry. I'm not going to lie, but there's something going on at Anfield right now that we need to keep a lid on the way we address people, maybe. But let's take a look then. We've addressed the teams. We've addressed what's going on this week. But we need to update our Fantasy Premier League team. So before we go, we're going to jump in. And we're going to have a look now at our fantasy.
Darwin in? I can't even remember.
Darwin was in.
Yeah, Darwin killed us.
That's what kills me. So here's our team. We've got Alisson, Cancelo, Trippier, Cucurella, Coutinho, Ward-Prowse, Salah, Mahrez, Saka, Jesus, and the man himself, Captain Headbutt, Darwin Núñez.
So he comes out straight away.
Do you know what? We dropped the ball because we should have just put Williams and Awanihi in because they had a good game.
Oh my days, we had them on the
bench. Oh shit, we got both of them on the bench. Yeah,
both on the bench.
I had Williams on the bench as well on my team.
We need to do some swapping out. So let's take a look. We need Darwin out. I think that's a given.
Get him out, and he ain't coming.
Darwin's going to come out. Sorry, I've got to go to transfer. So let's get.
How many
Darwin
transfers? How many have we got? We got 2.
We've got 2, I think. Yeah, we've got 2. So Darwin, Coutinho.
Yeah, I say Coutinho as well.
That's a nice little bit of money to play around with then. So 15.9. It's a tough one because should we take a look at this game week? So this game week we've got Tottenham play Wolves, Crystal Palace Villa, Everton Forest, Fulham Brentford, Leicester Southampton, Bournemouth Arsenal. In fact, the fixtures are here. There you go. Bournemouth play Arsenal, Leeds Chelsea, West Ham Brighton, Newcastle City, and United Liverpool. Out of those AA, which team do you think should dominate their game?
Arsenal. Looking at those fixtures, I'd say Arsenal's get match that's the easiest. For me personally.
Yeah, I agree with AA. The rest, some of them are like, ooh. I was about to say Spurs, Wolves, but like, nah, Wolves will probably get a clean sheet knowing them. Like,
even like an informed West Ham, you would have maybe them, but right now,
even an informed West Ham versus Brighton, Brighton are too.
Brighton are a good team.
I was actually looking at it as well. West Ham don't beat Brighton.
Seriously,
they actually don't beat them. They most of the time they draw or Brighton squeeze victories against them, like here and there. But West Ham haven't got a good record against Brighton.
Brighton, odds on for me this week. Brighton, they're playing unbelievable.
That's
why I put Pascal Gross in because West Ham's defense it's shaky at the minute.
Yeah, they've got injuries and stuff as well.
So we want to look at Arsenal then. How many Arsenal players have we got? We've got Saka. We've got Jesus. I'm thinking Martinelli off the top of my head. There we go. 6.3 million. Let's look at his info.
Wow.
He's played every minute so far. 2 goals, clean sheet. Goals.
And you got to think he plays wide forward. He doesn't play as a proper midfielder. So it's kind of having like an inside forward or another striker on the pitch. So I'd say At
Yeah,
that
let's go.
price, go for it. Yeah, it
Let's go
makes
for it.
sense.
Let's put Martinelli in there then.
Especially against Bournemouth.
Martinelli.
Martinelli is in. No, we still got 9.6.
All right,
I
what
like
bad boy
this.
strikers are there?
Let's look what strikers we've got. We can't have
Haaland,
Haaland.
why are you so
Tony,
bad?
Tony against Fulham could do something this week.
So
Let's
could
have a look at
Mitrovic
the
against Brentford, though,
Yeah,
as well.
that's what I was thinking. Mitrovic
Either way,
could
that could work.
still do something. Which forward in the league has impressed you most since it started back up Double A? Which forward has caught your eye?
Of the forwards, of forwards or forwards what they put in as in the fantasy league.
Yeah, to be honest, it's a very different thing, isn't it? Out of this list here, Jesus, Haaland, Tony, Watkins, Mitrovic, Kane, Welbeck. Out of that list, who's done the most and impressed you most so far?
I'd have to say of the 2 games so far, Mitrovic, because I think Mitrovic gave us a really rough time, to be honest. I didn't really see Fulham's last game, but how we played against Van Dijk and Matip, like he did he did trouble us, like so. And I don't feel like, all right, Haaland, I think he had a decent game against the first game, West Ham.
Goal, he set the goal though in the second game.
He had a decent. He didn't play great. Yeah, he only had like 7 touches in the first half, so he didn't play great. And obviously Nunes, he played well when he came on against Fulham, but he didn't play too well against Palace. Tony is okay, but he doesn't really impress me, to be honest. Kane doesn't really impress me. I think Welbeck did all right actually against United, to be fair.
Yeah.
Welbeck did pretty well.
Yeah, Welbeck's with Welbeck, you're always going to get someone that works, but he's not as clinical as he should be.
Yeah.
Because he's physical, he's fast, he should get more chances, but he just doesn't seem to. When he does get chances, he scores. Like, it's a strange one with Welbeck.
Yeah, I'd have to say Jesus, because even though I don't say Jesus has impressed me, because he hasn't done anything I don't expect from him. He's just been the most consistent, I'd say, and he's played the best of everyone on that list. So I'd have to say Jesus.
Harry Kane, though, we can't afford him, but against Wolves, he just starts bad, doesn't he, G? Like every season, I don't say bad, but he just doesn't hit the ground running, and then all of a sudden just kind of goes bang and scores, say, like 6 in 4 games or something mad like that.
Yeah, he's kind of, with Kane, he's probably the best purple patch type of player. If I'm being honest with you, he's one of them kind of guys where when he hits purple patch, oh my days, you don't even want to know. If I'm being totally honest with you, but from that list, oh man, that list is really crap.
It is crap, innit?
Bro, like look at all the names who we can afford. There is really none who you would really hang your hat on.
If I had to choose, if you were hanging your hat on someone else, it's Haaland, but we can't afford Haaland.
All right, put up the players that we can afford. That way I can see it.
Right, let's have a look then. So players we can afford. Let me get this. We've got 9.6, so 9.7 players. There we go. So out of those that you could afford, looking at this match week as well, because don't forget we've got to look who's playing who. Mitrovic is probably at home the best show, unless Mitrovic is probably the only show, unless Everton are going to do something, which I can't see them doing.
Scroll to the top. Who've Chelsea got?
Chelsea are playing Leeds away, so Rodrigo could potentially
I'm thinking more Havertz, actually. To be fair,
Kai Havertz. Is he classed as a midfielder? No, he's there.
Because Leeds,
I don't know if they're going to get. Yeah,
but he's not. Yeah, but I don't see him being the one to
not a goal scorer, innit? Like not clinical enough. You know what I would say? If Broha for Chelsea was starting games, he'd bag in that Chelsea team. With Sterling, who's creating the chances, Broha is scoring, but he's not going to start. We know he's not. I think the obvious choice, Skamaka's coming off a goal in the Europa Conference League as well. So West Ham against Brighton, West Ham at home. He might get his first league goal, but then is Antonio going to start?
This is actually the worst crop of players I think I've ever
Worst crop of players. Out of that list, I'm not going to lie, Mitrovic screams, pick me. Especially
It's either Mitrovic or Tony. Those are the only two I'll probably have to go for.
Yeah, and they're playing each other. They're playing against each other. The only advantage is Mitrovic is cheaper. He's at home as well this match week. I'd go Mitro. Mitrovic is in. Boom! So we'll confirm these transfers. We've got a nice bit of money as well if we want to buy someone next week. Starting 11G. It's so difficult because
I'll take Salah off as captain. Take him off. I don't want him as captain. He can't be captain.
Who's your captain? Jesus? Martinelli?
Oh, you know what? We're actually pissed, you know. We've got Trippier in the back.
Against Man City.
I do not trust that at all. Who's the other defender?
But should we put Nico in against
Everton?
Put Nico in. Trippier out. You know what's going to happen though?
They're going to get a bloody clean sheet, and he's going to score 4 goals.
Trippier's going to score a free kick, penalty, an assist from 2 crosses or something madness. Let's go. I like the look of that. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah,
maybe put Trippier as the first substitute.
Yeah. That's fine. Yeah, put him second. Yeah.
Captain. Who's your captain? I'll let you pick this week.
I'll probably have to go Jesus. If I knew that Mahrez was 100% going to play, I would pick Mahrez.
That's what I was going to say. He's not got a goal yet, though.
Yeah.
But he's going to be due a goal at some point. But Man City rotate too much. This is what's so frustrating. There's only Haaland and De Bruyne you're guaranteed are going to play if they're fit.
I'll probably say Captain Jesus, and I'll probably have Cancelo maybe as vice. Maybe.
Jesus captain. And who? Martinelli. Martinelli vice?
I don't really trust he's going to do anything like that. What's he done so far this season?
Sure. Salah's going to turn up against United away, let's be honest.
Do you think so? If you think he will,
he always does. Let's put him as vice captain. It doesn't matter anyway because Jesus has to not play anyway.
You see, with vice captains, how does that work with their points?
What happens for everyone that's listening, for vice captains, if your captain doesn't play, your vice captain then becomes your captain and gets double points. But vice captain doesn't get any extra points or anything special anyway. So
I thought they got it. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. So there's our team locked in, loaded, ready to go. Boom! Let me save that team. Let me come off this. Let's get these 2 fine, young, handsome men up on the screen. Quick one before we leave. Double A can't clap back at you now because of this Ronaldo comment. But let's look at this one. Casemiro in Man United, 400k a week. I'm not sure what the transfer fee was.
60 plus.
60 plus.
Plus
Jesus.
10 in add-ons.
Bro. Are United being taken to the cleaners by everyone right now? Is Casemiro the right signing, though, for them? Let's go there. Is he the right signing? Would you have liked it if you saw this signing at Liverpool right now?
If we're stripping away like the wages and stuff, 100%. He's one of the best players in the world in his position. So I can't fault them for buying him. Yeah. But he's 31. First time in this league. I don't know. It's a weird signing. I said this to my friend. I said to him, he supports Manchester United. And I said, he's a good player, but is he really what you need right now? Could you have not found someone cheaper to kind of do the same thing that he's going to come in and do? It kind of, that's the bit that worries me the most, is that Manchester United have spent all summer trying to sign De Jong, failed. Now, obviously, they're getting Casemiro, what it looks like, but it's tricky. I can't even lie to you, bro. It's honestly tricky because he is a good player. We can't say he isn't. But 31, on 400 grand a week, nah, that's not good value for money at all. At all.
I
Because he's not
agree.
coming in here to make you win the league. So what's he coming in here
That's
to do?
it.
Just stabilize
But
things.
like that transfer fee as well. For
Mm.
how old is he? 31 years old.
31 years old.
United, like something needs to happen. I'm loving it. I'm not gonna lie. It takes a bit of heat off Liverpool because Liverpool
Oh,
are moving
yeah.
a bit shady at the minute as well. 31 years. I'm not going too deep on that one.
What do you think though? What do you think in regards to like even if I didn't tell you his name was Casemiro, if I just said there's a player who's 31 years old, he's gonna command £400,000 a week, he's gonna cost you 60 plus add-ons.
Do you know all you have to say to me? No. All you would have to say in that conversation is he's commanding 400k a week.
Yeah.
Sorry, he's not coming to my club. I'm sorry,
Mhm.
no. Unless your name is Messi, Ronaldo, Salah, or Mbappe, maybe Haaland. But even Haaland, I'm not sure because he's young. Mbappe's like your top level in it. So those four, then I'll go De Bruyne as well, 400k a week. Fair enough. Anybody else? Are you mad?
It's a lot of money.
400k a week. Are you mad for Casemiro?
It's a lot of money. Maybe. Nah, I was gonna say Lewandowski, but he's older, man.
He's old. That's it.
Yeah, he's
Maybe
old.
if you're bringing in Benzema and Casemiro for a combined fee of 60 million plus 10, and the wages are 400k between them. So say Benzema's getting 300 or 250 and Casemiro's getting 150. Then I'm like, that's quite good business because they've got an understanding there. They both won the Champions League last season. You're playing for now to get United back to where they need to be. But what's Casemiro doing on it? Like, what's he going to do for United? Like
that, and this is it.
Do you think it's the Fred connection? Do you think that's what they're doing? Like,
I just think I think Casemiro just looked at it and said, "I'm going to make more money. I'm still playing in the best league in the world, if you want to call it that.
Yeah,
I'm not really losing out on anything. I've done everything I needed to do in club football anyway. So I'm just more coming here for the challenge." And yeah, that's what Elliot says there in the comment. Like, there's no resale value with this guy. So it's the business is just Manchester United are just so like they've got no brain. But again, who cares, man? Good for them. Good for them.
Good for you, United. You keep going, keep wasting money, and keep taking dividends out the club. Happy days. There's talks though about takeovers, right? The club, and I might be wrong, 28 billion. Somebody calculated it at. Chelsea's just been sold for, was it 2 point something billion to Todd Bowley? 28 billion, G. I get United's a brand. I get it's a name, but what kind of fool is going to come in and pay that kind of money for United? If you're, say, in Saudi Arabia right now, you're watching AJ Usyk, you're a wealthy businessman, would you look at Man United and go, do you know what? City have done it. Could I do it? Would you look at it from that prospect, or do you just think it's not attractive at all? You're going to have to build a new stadium, a new training complex. You're going to have to pay people off. By the way, you're going to have to pay Ronaldo off, which is not cheap. But that's around 25 million to pay him off?
Yeah, literally.
So his contract ends. Like, it's not. Is it attractive to anyone?
They are attractive. I couldn't even. I was just about to say they're not, but they are definitely an attractive proposition. It's Manchester United. They're the biggest club, like one of the biggest clubs in the world. For 28 billion, that's a lot of money. You know, I'm putting together £100, let alone the 28 billion. Like, yeah,
you're losing money there. You're never getting 28 billion back.
And well, the only thing that they would probably have to look at it is like, if you're going to spend that kind of money commercially and all these kind of things, well, obviously they're going to bring you in millions anyway in that commercial revenue. So I get it from that aspect. The problem is, how much are you going to have to spend to get United back to where they used to be so that they can just continue where they left off. That would be my only thing. It's just the afterthought is, yes, it sounds great on the face of it. Yeah, billionaire guy, he comes in, he buys United. Then what? Because once he's bought United, he spent all that money.
I suppose, though, if you're spending 28 billion, G, and we're talking like we're just going to shop spending 28.
Yeah, 28 billion.
If you're spending 28 billion, surely then another 2 billion to revitalize United, that's like chicken change, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
And that's where I'm looking at it, thinking maybe if you've already spent that kind of money, you probably wouldn't care about spending an extra couple couple billion, yeah.
If you've got 28 billion, you've got 100 bill in your bank at least.
Well, so we would like to think, but like hopefully for their sake that he's got the money. If it's that kind of thing, then they're attractive. And to be honest, anybody who does buy them now and like revitalizes them, if they revitalize Manchester United, it could get very long for a lot of people. A lot of people.
Especially the Merseyside Reds, who don't like to spend money at the minute, who are bagging out for a midfielder, who have just been, in my opinion, humiliated by Wolves in signing Mateus Nunes when that seemed the perfect fit for Liverpool. I hope, G, and I don't want to mention someone's name who ends in ham, begins with Bell, right? I don't want to mention his name, but there's a lot swirling around Keita out, Bellingham in. It's not going to happen, is it? We need to tell people right now, look them in the eye. G, you need to tell them right now, okay? Let me just get this comment off so we can get you up there, right?
What am I telling the people? We're not getting Jude Bellingham. I think like this Jude Bellingham dream that everybody seems to have, we're not getting him. We're not getting him. And to be honest with you, getting him doesn't do anything for our team, to be honest with you. He's just going to come in, do the same things that we're doing at this current moment in time. He'd just be a different body. I think as a club, we need to start looking elsewhere at different type of options, man. Jude Bellingham, for me, is not the answer. He's a fantastic player, but he's not the answer. We need to get that out of our heads and out of our thinking that it must be Jude Bellingham because he's this type of player. He's not the player. He's not going to be the player that we want him to be at this football club. That's been proven by Thiago, Gini Wijnaldum, Shaqiri, all of these players. It's all been proven. So to think that he's going to come in and do something, nah, he's not the guy, man. I think there are other options who are cheaper, who could actually be better for us in the future.
On the money with that one, Drew. On the money, 100%. Just get Bellingham out of our heads, people, because wages, transfer fee, it just doesn't make sense for FSG. They're a business.
Yeah, and that's the main thing. It doesn't even sound like an FSG deal. You think FSG want to spend 100 million plus on one player? That means we're only going to make one signing next summer. Nah, I don't want that.
Do you know what Latif's saying? We're in a position where we could lose Milner, Keita, and Ox on a free next summer. Good! Like, what do people not understand?
Oh my God, that sounded so dope.
Like, that's the position we want to be in.
Listen,
we're sick of carrying the weight. Like, I'm sorry, Milner. I want to give a bit more respect to James Milner doing what he's doing at that age. Bit more respect to Milner. Probably our best player this season, which says everything. But, gee, do we care if these people go on a free next summer?
Look, I try to keep it as PC as humanly possible. So I would just say, yes, we need all three players to get out of the club as soon as possible so that we can facilitate good players at this football club. James Milner, you can stay as a coach because I like you.
And do you know what it is, though? It's not just getting out the club, G. It's like COVID times. They're taking seats on hospital beds in that physio room for too long. They're spending half the season in those hospital beds.
And then you've got... Sorry, go on.
Go on. No, go on. I know what you're going to say. Go on.
No, I was going to say, then you got Keita coming out telling people he's on, like, Klopp said that this wasn't true, by the way, so I will put that out there. He said it wasn't true in the press conference. But the reports were that he was unhappy with the current situation. I was like, how dare you? How dare you? Like, who are you? You've not been
Have a
here
word
at
with your
all.
hamstrings, bro.
Have a word with your hamstrings, bro. That's why we're unhappy. I'm very unhappy that Liverpool spent this much money on a player who is unavailable, unreliable, and to be honest, has underperformed really since he's been here. He's been 2/10 of the player that I thought we were signing. You took that number 8 shirt, which I know James the Brain does not like, and I agree with him. You know what I mean? It's a. I feel like he has for him to have the audacity to say things like that. That actually pissed me off even more because I've not even heard. I mean, I know Ox has been upset maybe with his playing time and stuff like that throughout last season, but come on, man. Like, you both know you don't deserve to be here anymore. I'm sorry, but that is the truth. You do not deserve to be at this football club.
Yeah. Klopp's talking about witches. I think there's maids, bro. I think there's maids because Cammy's put it right here. Those beds must be nice because everyone wants to be in them. There must be some comfy pillows, some nice cushions, a little bit of Sky Sports on the televisions next to the bed because it just seems like everyone's in the Liverpool hospital ward this season. It's difficult, isn't it? Because we laugh and joke about it. We've got to laugh and joke because otherwise we would get so annoyed. Because, yes, everyone says witches and unfortunate. It happens every single season without fail. When something happens so frequently, that's not freak. That's not by chance. That's a pattern. And a pattern suggests that something needs to change. So, style of play, physio department, players, something needs to change. Otherwise,
All three.
we're just going to keep all three. Otherwise, we're just going to keep seeing this happen, innit, G? But can Liverpool turn things around this weekend? If they beat United, is it back to, okay, this is the team we've got. Nobody's going to sign this summer. Let's move on.
Listen, Liverpool can turn things around. I mean, it's only 2 games, so I'll give them
course,
that much at the bare minimum. So they could easily turn it around. The problem that they find themselves in, you cannot come out of 3 games with no wins. It doesn't work like that. If you come out of 3 games with 0 wins, I don't care if you get 3 draws. That is pathetic for a team who's supposed to be fighting for a title.
And it's not the case. It's just 3 games, G, because we did that in. Well, we say we did that in 1918. We did it last season, but look what happened. We finished 1 point behind. That's in the middle of the season. This is the start of the season. We've not won a game. To draw or potentially not win any of your 3 first games for a team that's chasing the title, I'm pretty sure, and don't quote me on it, it might be wrong, no team has ever done that and gone on to win the league.
To draw the only team I would think of is, didn't Man City start off badly and win the league that year? Like, they were like 8th or 10th or something like that, and then out of nowhere,
this is first 3 games. City might have lost 1, won 1, lost 1. We're talking 3 games back to back without a win.
Yeah, true.
You can't do that as a potential title chasing team, can you?
Nah, and I think the problem when people, like, for the fans out there who are like, it's only 1 game, then 1 game turned into 2 games. If you now don't win this one, it's now 3 games. When do you get to a point of just saying, okay, like, we're done now, like, it's finished? Like, are you going to wait until 10 games in and then you're going to start saying, look, we're yet again, which Monday we'll give you the answer. Yet again, Liverpool Football Club are praying and begging for Manchester City to just be rubbish. We're begging them to lose games. We're begging them to we are constantly waiting for Manchester City to drop. I get it. They're fantastic. They are the best team in England, hands down. We are not better than them. I've never thought that in any shape or form, even when we won the league. I just felt that we were just in crazy form. They had crazy injuries. It worked out because you saw what happened the following season. We had crazy injuries. They didn't. They won the league. We came third. So people need to stop, like take their Liverpool hat off sometimes and just kind of think before you speak, because the reality is Manchester City are, at this moment in time, on game week 3, are putting themselves in a position so that they can just go boom. And remember, I know they're not going to win every game between now and the end of the season. They're going to lose a game. They're going to draw a game. They're going to do all of that kind of stuff. Like, we know that's going to happen. The problem is, you want to start off with some level of momentum. because at least then you kick into gear. Everyone's not really playing to their best. Liverpool, Man City, like Man City are not even at, would I say, 80% in these last 2 games. Do you get what I mean? Like everyone's still Liverpool the same. I still think Liverpool have got extra percentages to kind of go.
100%. We've been
Yeah,
30%. We've been poor. I've been kind giving Liverpool 5.5 out of 10 team ratings. Like I feel like I've been kind, and I'm only being so kind because it's so early in the season. I don't want to go in so early. But if this carries on, rest assured, there's going to be some things getting said if they've not been said already. Do you know what I mean? Latifi's go on.
No, I'm just going to ask the transfer window. Do we have another game before that?
We play again.
Okay.
On
I'll have a little look there.
On the 31st of August, so literally like deadline day is more or less the day after.
All right.
So that night that we play is that we play on deadline day. Deadline's the 31st of August, right? The end of September it cuts off. I'm thinking. So it's the end of the month.
Oh wow, we've got 2 games.
So we've got 2 games.
We've got Man United next, then Bournemouth, then Newcastle. So we've got 3 games before the. All right, yeah.
Does that play into Liverpool, into FSG's hands, or does that play into our hands in terms of recruiting somebody in?
I think after that United game, if we don't win, we have to get a player in before that Bournemouth game. There has to be, because then remember you still got to get these players to come in and just gel. You know, it's just before, because we still got 2 games left to kind of not save it, but we've got 2 games left before that window's done. Get maybe a couple bodies in, and I do mean we literally need a couple bodies. Then maybe you can salvage something. Now you're not so far away, because remember, guys, like we had was it an 8-point gap from Manchester City last season, and that wasn't because of the beginning of the season. That was defeats that we had against Leicester, West Ham, and stuff like that. That was by January. If we go 10 points or something behind City in game 5, how do you expect to catch them? You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to be realistic now. Now you're really like praying that they go on a crazy run. And, you know, I just don't see that really happening this season, to be honest with you.
I agree with you. What do you think?
I agree with Latif's comment, by the way. Sorry, I did see it.
I agree with Latif's comment. Too many draws.
Yeah.
Because you need that winning way. That's why I'm worried at the beginning of the season. We need that kind of to know how to get the win. Draws, to me, in some instances, are worse than losses, because when you lose, everybody's like, right, you've not got the points.
Yeah.
You need to get the points. Whereas Klopp's coming away from those draws and being like, we were poor, but we've picked up a point. That was good for the performance. So everybody's starting to think like, actually, we've stole a point from those games where maybe last year we might have lost those games. And that's not the perception I want Liverpool fans to be in. The perception is, unless we beat everybody, maybe by Man City, that's not a good result.
Yeah.
Like, we need to be wanting to beat even Man City. Drawing against Man City isn't good enough if we want to win the league. We need to be saying we're beating them. But I want to ask you a question before we go. What's wrong with loan deals? I don't understand. Why can Liverpool not just turn around and go, even if it's just till the World Cup? Because I'm telling you now, there's players out there that will be begging, who are knocking on the door of their national teams, wanting to get in their World Cup squads. In Liverpool's midfield, they're going to get into a World Cup squad. So why can't we go out there and try and pick someone up on loan just for 6 months or just for half a season? Because if Klopp doesn't want this long-term transfer fee, surely a short-term fix is a loan.
I think, obviously, I don't know who's available out there for loans anyway, so we'd have to probably look. But again, I'm probably more than confident that there's enough players out there that you could get on loan who could easily come into this team. Again, I don't know off the top of my head. So, yeah, honestly, Ash, I'm just at the stage now where I either want this window to just close, or we need to pick up 3 more injuries. That'll be the only. Then maybe FSG and Klopp will pull their fingers out of their asses
Yeah.
and potentially sign a player. But again, I feel like that's trying to get blood out of a stone. So you know how that goes, to be honest with you.
Last question.
One.
Yes or no?
One.
Will Liverpool sign anybody from now till the deadline day closes?
No.
I think I agree.
I was gonna say, what do you think? I don't think we'll
I
sign
think
him.
I agree. I just think if they've not done it already, when
They're not
we
gonna do
had
it now.
everyone was out, players are still dropping. Players are still like he's having to come out and say, "Oh, Bobby's available, Keita's available." How available are they though? Are we forcing them back? Are they going to
Probably
pick
not.
up an injury? Do you know what I mean? I just think Klopp's going to back what he's got. And do you know what his excuse will be or his argument will be? Why get someone in on a short-term fix when I can just play an academy player who knows what we expect in the club? And so we're not going to see it, but we stay optimistic, G. Let's stay positive. We play Manchester United on Monday. Let's see how that one goes. But Liverpool, we warn you, lose against Man United, and we're
You don't want
coming
to see me
for
outside.
you.
You don't want to see me
We're coming
outside,
for you.
Liverpool. Klopp, you don't want to see me outside. Pep, you don't want to see me outside if you don't lose. If you draw, you can come outside, but you might not want to hear what I got to say.
Yeah, you come outside, take the heat. That's all we're
Yeah, take
saying.
the heat. Yeah.
Look, for everyone that's tuned in, everyone in the comments, Latif, Elliot, Cammy, Ollie, everyone, big up yourselves. There was one comment earlier saying, "When's the women's show back? Ladies' Night is back this evening, so make sure you tune into that. That is back this evening." That's been the Premier League Prem Heads show. We've looked at the leagues, Fantasy League. If you want to join the Fantasy League and beat G's team, who keeps making excuses that his scores aren't correct, but we'll let him keep making those excuses, please type in this code. It's not too late to join. As G hung his head
I
in
hate
shame
these guys,
whilst that
by the
was
way.
up.
I hate them. I hate every single one of them.
Hates us. But I love this show, G. We're going to come back again this week with more shows. Get over as well to Hycon. Get over to G Keeping It G, because we're going to be bringing you some boxing this weekend. So stay tuned. Usyk versus or AJ Usyk, whichever way around you want to say it. We're bringing you that. But the Premier League's back. Come on, you Reds. And until next time, G, as we always say, never walk alone.
Boom.
Peace.